Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, President Bongbong Marcos and First Lady Liza set to attend the funeral of Pope Francis on Saturday. Filipino tennis star Eala will again face world number 2 Iga Swiatek, this time at the Madrid Open. The game is afoot for the third time. Enola Holmes 3 is now in production. And get to know a new children's book from Disney that's inspired by Filipino mythology. We begin in the papal residence of Casa Santa Marta, where the body of Pope Francis now lies in state. Italian officials, including President Sergio Mattarella, visited the wooden coffin and stood in silence as they paid their respects to the Pope. Francis died on Monday at 88 due to stroke and cardiac arrest. Later today, cardinals will lead a procession to transfer the body to St. Peter's Basilica, and where the faithful will be allowed to say their goodbyes. Various world leaders, including President Bongbong Marcos, will attend the funeral service in St. Peter's Square on Saturday.
We expect that world leaders coming for the papal funeral, including U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, will be seated in the front row or towards the front of the funeral in St. Peter's Square on Saturday morning. The ceremony will be solemn. It will be a funeral, an opportunity for Catholics around the world to mourn the Pope, who led the Catholic Church for 12 years. He was the first Pope from Latin America. And we'll have to see kind of how it unfolds, but it should be a pretty solemn ceremony. Based on previous papal funerals, there's not really a lot of time for sideline meetings or other events.
Tributes for Pope Francis continue around the world. In his hometown of Buenos Aires, Argentina, a large crowd sang and applauded the pontiff outside the San Jose de Flores Basilica. The Basilica is where Francis had the revelation that led him to become a priest. Meanwhile, candles were lit at the local soccer club, where the Pope remained a member during his 12-year papacy. His club membership number, 88235, coinciding exactly with his age and time of death.
The
day we gave him his membership card, he said he would accept it, but added, "I'll pay the fee," he said. He paid his membership fees for the San Lorenzo Club religiously. We handed him the card in person, and it had the membership number 88,235. Now, he has passed away at the age of 88 at 2:35 a.m. Argentine time. So, we don't know if it's a blessing, a coincidence, or something he sent us.
In other news, a major overhaul of the U.S. State Department looms. The Trump administration is planning to eliminate 132 of the more than 700 bureaus and offices under the department and reduce staff by 15%. Those on the chopping board include some offices working on war crimes and rights advocacy. The shakeup aims to ensure the agency is in line with Trump's America First policy and is part of his push to shrink the federal government.
Today, under President Trump's leadership and at the direction of Secretary Rubio, we are reversing decades of bloat and bureaucracy at the State Department. The Secretary announced a reorganization plan to build an America First State Department to meet the challenges of a new era.
In royal news, Britain's Prince Louis turns 7 today. Louis is the youngest child of Prince William and Kate. He is 4th in line to the throne behind his father and siblings, George and Charlotte. Reports say he will celebrate his milestone birthday through quality family time, with Kate baking his cake herself. Here at home, the administration's Senate slate remains unfazed, even as not all of them are in the projected winning circle in surveys. Xandro Achona is on the scene in San Fernando, Pampanga, where the candidates are holding a campaign rally. Xandro, how important is it to clinch the Kapampangan vote?
Mai Pampanga has about 1.6 million registered voters. In the 2022 national elections, President Bongbong Marcos secured 735,000 votes here. Several members of the Alyansa para sa Bagong Pilipinas are not worried for failing to make it to the Magic 12 on surveys conducted. Re-electionist Senator Francis Tolentino calls it deja vu, and it was nothing new since he was not in the top 12 on surveys during the 2019 midterm elections, but eventually made it and won. For former DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos, surveys are just surveys, and he pointed out the differences of the results among poll companies. He called on the electorate to look at his credentials as a former congressman, cabinet member, and mayor of Mandaluyong City.
Ganun din naman ako dating eleksyon. Ganun din. Pero okay pa tayo. Okay pa tayo.
You're not worried in any way?
Hindi naman, worried ka rin. Depende sa survey. Meron survey, di ba na nandun? Meron survey na wala, di ba?
Oo.
So, trabaho muna ako. Trabaho mamayang hapon. So, mas concentrated ako.
Well, ganun naman talaga ang laban in any case. Surveys are just surveys. No? Iba-iba nga ang surveys. Titignan mo, iba resulta. At the end of the day, it is the people who will decide. What is important for me right now is that medyo bago ako in the sense na yung pangalan ko ay bago lamang tumakbo sa Senado. So people must look at number one, the track record. Ano yung track record ng kandidato? Nambobola ba ito? Ano mga nagawa niya?
Mai, despite not making it to the surveys, both are thankful for the continued support of President Bongbong Marcos in their candidacy. Mai?
Xandro, where is Alyansa headed to next after today's sortie?
Mai, the presidential senatorial slate is set to visit Pangasinan, another vote-rich province here in Luzon. Mai?
Thank you, Xandro Achona, reporting to us live from San Fernando, Pampanga. With just less than 3 weeks to go before the elections, the Comelec has launched its online precinct finder. Here, voters may check their polling place, precinct number, and voting status. The online platform will require local voters to provide their name, birth date, and place of registration. Meanwhile, overseas Filipino voters will be required to indicate their country of registration and respective embassy or consulate. There are over 68 million voters registered for the midterm elections. Senator Amy Marcos slams the short detention period imposed by Senate President Cheese Escudero on Ambassador Marcos Lacanilao. That's after the envoy was cited in contempt for alleged evasive answers at a Senate hearing. Hanati reports.
Bihira naman, ang daya naman. Yung iba, pinaghihirapan, yung malakas sa itaas, talagang walang visa yung content namin, kaya medyo nakakapito.
Senator Amy Marcos is not mincing words. She calls the detention of Ambassador Marcos Lacanilao a slap on the wrist. Lacanilao will be detained inside the Senate for only 2 days, under the order of Senate President Cheese Escudero. For Senator Marcos, it's too little too late. Marcos chairs the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, the same panel that cited Lacanilao for direct contempt. It was due to Lacanilao's evasive answers during the April 10 hearing on the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Lacanilao is Malacanang's special envoy on transnational crime. When asked if Duterte was brought before any Philippine court prior to his turnover to The Hague, Lacanilao claimed he didn't know. Escudero then issued a show-cause order on April 11 and gave Lacanilao 5 days to explain why he shouldn't be detained. The ambassador replied, but failed to convince the Senate. After evaluation, Escudero signed the detention order on April 21. For Senator Marcos, Lacanilaw should have been detained immediately since the rules don't even require a show cause order. In her words, the rules only apply to ordinary people, not to those favored by the powers that be. Escudero has yet to respond. Lacanilaw voluntarily appeared at the Senate and was escorted to custody. He was checked by medical staff and will remain in detention for a maximum of 2 days. Marcos is still unsure whether another committee hearing will be conducted. For now, she plans to focus on her campaign for re-election. Hannah T., Billionario News Channel.
A retired Court of Appeals Associate Justice has been charged over the 2020 murder of a lawyer in Cebu. Let's get details from Joash Malimban, who monitored the Supreme Court's press briefing in Baguio this morning. Joash, go ahead.
The Supreme Court has officially charged retired Court of Appeals Associate Justice Isaias Dikdikan with gross misconduct over his alleged involvement in the 2020 murder of Cebu-based lawyer Joey Luis Uy. Uy was shot dead in November 2020 at the ground floor of the building where his office was located in Cebu City. A year later, in 2021, the court indicted 4 individuals for the murder, including a former military officer, linking them to a wider conspiracy behind the killing. Now, the Supreme Court is holding Dikdikan accountable in an administrative case. According to SC spokesperson Attorney Camille Ting, Dikdikan has been ordered to file his response within a non-extendable period of 10 days. If found guilty, he may face severe penalties, including disbarment and the forfeiture of his retirement benefits. The Supreme Court remains firm in their message that no one should be above the law and that members of the judiciary should be held accountable and to the highest standards of integrity.
Thank you, Joash Malimban, reporting to us live from Baguio City. We're taking a break. Up ahead, Alex Eala up for a rematch against world number 2 Iga Swiatek as she storms into the second round of the Madrid Open. Sports and entertainment up next. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Rain Musni. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey.
We empower.
This country deserves a real choice in the next election.
We motivate.
Do not invest money that you're not able to afford to lose.
Changes that are vital.
We're monitoring the sale of these products online.
Follow the Money with Rain Musni.
Keep it here on the Billionario News Channel. Always on top.
Today, the world mourns. He walked with us through storms, through pain, through prayer. He reminded us that mercy is greater than judgment. You are home now, Holy Father, and your spirit will live on in every Filipino heart. Salamat, Pope Francis.
Mai Rodriguez, My Millionario, Trade Talks, 11 a.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. From the filing of candidacies until the last ballot is counted, your newest trusted news source, BNC, the Billionario News Channel, will be at the forefront to guide your decisions and guard your vote. Tune in to BNC's Election 2025 special coverage. Rain Musni. Business Brief, 3:30 p.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel.
Back on Newsfeed at noon. Sports news now. Madrid Open wildcard. Alex Eala storms into the second round with a 6-3, 6-1 dominance of Victoria Tomova. Eala fired 27 winners against Tomova's 7. The women's world number 72 next faces world number 2 Iga Swiatek in the round of 64 on Friday. Swiatek, the reigning French Open queen, was among the 3 Grand Slam champions Eala defeated at the Miami Open last month. But the Filipina tennis star is tempering expectations, saying that their rematch on clay is not the same and that she's taking things match by match. Meanwhile, Asia's best pole vaulter, EJ Obiena, is ready to go all out for his next assignment in China. The men's pole vault world number 4 is set to compete in the Xiamen leg of the Diamond League this weekend. Pole vault king Mondo Duplantis is among the other athletes expected to compete in the outdoor event. BNC's The Scorecard caught up with Obiena in Cavite during one of his training sessions, and he says he's gradually making the necessary steps to achieve his next goal, completing a 6.10-meter jump.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I knew back in 2023 when I jumped 6 meters, I could jump 6'10". It's, you know, I'm very unfortunate. I hurt my back in 2024. It takes some time to getting back into shape, I would say, and really it's more getting used to being able to run in my last few steps. Because of my back, I wasn't able to do that. So we're adapting. I think if I get, first of all, I need to go back to where I was. And then from there, we hit 6'10". If it's possible, I believe so. I mean, if it's not, I wouldn't be training this hard.
Now in entertainment, the Cannes Film Festival unveils its official poster for 2025, and for the first time in history, it's not 1 but 2 images. The posters are from the French film A Man and a Woman, which bagged the Palme d'Or in 1966, as well as Best Foreign Language Film and Best Original Screenplay at the 1967 Oscars. The 78th Cannes Film Festival will run from May 13 to 24. The red carpet is set to be action-packed thanks to Tom Cruise, who is returning to the festival with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The game is afoot for the 3rd time. Netflix has announced Enola Holmes 3 is now in production in the UK. The latest installment sees Enola tackling another mystery, this time on the island nation of Malta. Millie Bobby Brown will return as the brilliant younger sister of Sherlock Holmes. Also reprising their roles, Louis Patridge, Henry Cavill, and Helena Bonham Carter. No word yet on when the film will be released. Now here's something for fans of the Netflix series You. The show celebrated its final season by bringing the fictional Mooney's bookstore to life. The pop-up in New York City offers a literary scavenger hunt with exclusive merchandise, prizes, and photo opportunities. The show's famous glass cage, where Penn Badgley's character Joe killed many of his victims, is also on display. Bookstores across the United States are hosting in-store as well.
I don't try to think about the fact that he killed a lot of people here. I'm just really honing in the book ambiance instead of that glass cage in the back.
I'm obsessed with Penn Badgley, and I'm obsessed with the show. I read all the books, I watched all the seasons. I'm so ready for season 5. I live in New Jersey, so I drove like almost 2 hours to get here. I'm so hyped. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
We're taking another breather. Still to come, a new children's book from Disney is inspired by Filipino mythology. The details after the break. Stay tuned.
the legendary Quizmaster is back.
We heard you, so we're bringing back intelligence to Philippine TV with Billionaire Quizbee. Billionaire Quizbee will feature questions on science and technology, arts and literature, mathematics, history and geography, social sciences, and general information. We look forward to seeing you rise to the challenge and compete for the title of the very first Billionaire Quizbee champion.
Through the insightful discussions and in-depth analysis, we always empowered viewers to better understand the complexities of public affairs. Congratulations, On Point, for winning the Best Public Affairs Program at the 38 PM PC Star Awards for Television. Only here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Pinky Web, Corina Sanchez Rojas. Agenda simula April 28 sa bago nitong oras, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Your newest source of news and information on cable and free TV, online,
on Trade Talk, joining us this morning,
on mobile.
Simulan na natin ang agenda.
This is BNC. We are everywhere.
Friends, this is Cardinal Chito Tagle, and we have good news for you. The Word Exposed now airs on Billionario News Channel. That's Channel 31 on Free TV and Channel 24 on Cignal. Join us every Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the morning, and at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you, and God bless you.
You're back on Newsfeed at noon. President Bongbong Marcos joins PLDT Chairman Manny Pangilinan in leading the opening of the country's first large-scale AI-capable data center. Pierre Pastor joins us on the scene live from Santa Rosa, Laguna for the details. Pierre, go ahead.
Yes, Mai. This is seen as another bold digital step of the country. And as you mentioned, President Bongbong Marcos joined the grand launching of the Vitro Santa Rosa Data Center here in Santa Rosa, Laguna. This Vitro Data Center is an AI-ready, hyper-grade data center, a subsidiary of ePLDT. You know, there are more and more technology companies and businesses these days, and these companies are turning their eyes towards the Philippines because they believe we already have data centers that deliver secure and reliable data center solutions. And slowly, the Philippines is gaining confidence from tech-driven companies across the globe, believing that the country can provide, manage, and protect hyper-scaled enterprises to be able to thrive in this digital era. This Vitro Santa Rosa happens to be the largest data center in the country today, sitting in a 5-hectare property. They say it's energy efficient, and you know that this area hosts the country's richest internet ecosystem, which means they have stronger and more powerful internet connection. Mai?
Thank you, Pierre Pastor, reporting to us live from Santa Rosa, Laguna. Nora Aunor may have been laid to rest, but the legacy of Philippine cinema's one and only superstar continues to shine bright. The national artist was buried yesterday at the libingan ng mga bayani. Her incredible body of work spans decades, which include classic films like Inaka ng Anak Mo and Minsan May Isang Gamo-Gamo. In an interview on Billionario News Channel's It's a Beautiful Day, film historian Nick De Ocampo breaks down the genius of Aunor in one of her signature roles, Elsa, in the critically acclaimed movie Himala.
Really deliver a performance from a very quiet and what Ismael Bernal called acting-less performance in Himala. That one is a phenomenal accomplishment because the Filipino idea of acting is that we overperform. Ang laki ng mga gestures, ang iingay, talagang iyakan to the max. Nora Aunor accomplished none of this, but instead registered a totally different terrain or topography of acting, no? Masyadong subdued, quiet, very slow acting. And she did it. And she held us on that big screen, throughout almost 2 hours of performance, acting less almost. She was really perfect in this.
De Ocampo has worked with Aunor at least once. He says that behind her larger-than-life presence as a superstar, she was a humble and grateful woman who never forgot those who helped her.
You can really see her kindness, her gratitude. Ang laking pasasalamat niya that I was able to help promote her in international festivals like the Hawaii International Film Festival, where I think that was the only time she sat in the jury. And to be in the international jury is a highlight of any career, of a film personality. And in this letter, she was full of gratitude, and really very happy that I was able, somehow in some part of her life, I was able to help her, promote her, long before she's been promoted recently in international festivals.
Before we go, Filipino mythology takes center stage in a new children's book courtesy of none other than Disney. The Gobbling Goblins tells the story of trinket-stealing gremlins whose knack for thievery may just save the day. The latest Disney offering was written by Filipino-American author Maika Llaneza. Award-winning children's book artist Ana Villena lent her creative touch to bring the story to life. In an interview on It's a Beautiful Day, she says she hopes her Disney gig paves the way for more Filipino creatives to shine on the global stage.
Ibig sabihin lang nun for me, kaya. Kaya siya ng mga local talents natin dahil napakayaman ng pool of talents talaga natin dito sa Pilipinas. No? So, mas ganun lang siguro yung para sa akin at na-enjoy ko siya at kakaibang experience din siya. And hopefully, hindi lang ako yung nag-iisang magkaroon ng ganitong klaseng opportunity kasi napaka-talented talaga ng mga Filipino illustrators.
That's right. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on the Billionaire News Channel. Good afternoon.